5:30 a.m. The cell phone alarm goes off. I tap once, twice, struggling to escape this virtual concoction of audible sounds and noises. I lift myself up, still struggling to justify why I should be praying today morning. I move myself, each physical step increasing my consciousness of why this has to be done every day. One must wash the arms, the face, the feet before standing in front of their Lord. And so I proceed. I turn the bathtub faucet on, beginning to spiritually cleanse myself of my misdeeds that keep me down from achieving my God-given potential. Crouched in the bathtub, slowly focusing more on my movements, one after the other, bam, the door opens. My mind shifts away from the Lord I was seeking to please to a mother who was looking at me crouched in the bathroom. My mind shifts away from a Lord I was seeking to please to an environment that strikes anxiety within my heart. I am in Argentina. My host mom sees me crouched in the bathroom, now embarrassed as she walked in, as she quickly closes the door, and I feel confused, knowing she doesn't know what I know to believe is my way of worship. We speak later that day, and I try to explain to her the 5 daily prayers and why we wash ourselves as a way to prepare. And she's rightfully confused, asking me why we waste so much water for our Lord if the same resource is killed over by millions of people around the world. She is rightfully uneasy, informing me that my early morning rituals are what woke her up in the first place as she heard the continuous flow of water from the bathroom. She is rightfully curious when she asks me why we have to wake up so early to pray. Though I thought I convinced myself why this prayer was good for me, my environment now pushed me to question my faith-based convictions. Why do I do what I do? Eid al-Adha, Ibrahim alayhi salam. When you look at Abraham, Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, the man who went against the status quo of the entire world around him, you begin to wonder where he derived his strength. You begin to ask how such a man who initially reflected on the stars and the rising of the moon and the sun became so convicted in the Lord that encompassed all these beauties. You really struggle to fathom how a man like Ibrahim was so convicted to his own beliefs, even when it meant going against the fundamentals of his people, his culture, his father who raised them. People wished this man to be murdered, burned alive in a flame that was so hot they had to launch him by catapult into the flames, and yet he remained steadfast. I share with you one story from the Quran. Ibrahim alayhi salam is speaking to his father. He says, there has come to me just some knowledge, and I know it hasn't come to you, so follow me. He says, oh father, don't worship Satan. He's been a rebel against the most beneficent. He says, oh father, and he pleads with his heart to the man who shed mercy upon him as a child. He says, oh father, I fear lest the torment from the most beneficent overtakes you, so that you become a companion of Satan. Ibrahim has experienced rejection, isolation, persecution, and he turns to his father, hoping he'll understand. And his father says, do you reject my gods, O Ibrahim? Do you reject my gods, O Ibrahim? If you stop not, I will indeed stone you. So get away from me safely before I punish you. Ibrahim alayhi salam, with all the troubles and trials that have rested within his heart for years, now pulls up his mic all together and responds to this man who wants to kill him, and he says, peace be upon you. He says, in the face of death, peace be upon you. He says to every single trial and tribulation we've ever experienced, he says, peace be upon you. Oh, my father, peace be upon you. I will seek forgiveness of my Lord for you, for he is unto me the most gracious. Ibrahim alayhi salam transformed his lived experience into a means to gain closeness with his Lord. Where do I stand? I look back at my experience in Argentina and I ask myself, do I fear my Lord, or am I subject to the whims of creation? Why can't I believe my Lord is most gracious to me? Jazakallah khair.